My name's John Pickering. I'm a ruling elder from Birmingham, Alabama. Been a ruling elder for several years at Red Mountain Church and Evangel Presbytery. And for the last year, I've served as an advisory member on the administrative committee. It's been a great experience, and I'm proud to be part of the PCA. Well, I did not grow up Presbyterian. I was raised in a Christian home, but I came to the PCA through involvement with Reformed University Fellowship, RUF, at Vanderbilt University, and quickly realized that the PCA would be a good church home for me, for my family, for years to come, and it has been. I've been involved in church plants in Austin, Texas, and in Birmingham, where we are now. I think for me it has a lot to do with coming to Presbyterianism from the outside. Coming from other denominational traditions and ideas, one thing that attracted me to the PCA and to Presbyterianism generally was the sense of connectedness among the churches. It's not a centralized top-down denomination, but it is a denomination where the churches and the members are connected. The members are connected within the congregations are connected within the presbyteries, and the presbyteries are connected within the General Assembly. And for me, that was a big selling point, because I'm sensitive, I think, to the dangers of being kind of a Lone Ranger Christian or a Lone Ranger church, and that mutual system of shared accountability is important to me. Well, what I like about the plan is that it recognizes that there is a cost to being connected. And most things do come with a cost in this world. But if we're going to have that accountability, that mutual accountability among the churches and among the presbyteries, there's going to be some administrative cost to making that happen. And it seems to me the plan is carefully drawn to recognize the reality of that cost and to recognize the justice and the fairness of asking those who benefit from that connectedness to pay their fair share of the cost, while at the same time, I think, taking into account a sense that, we shouldn't just take the big number and divide it by 6 and split it up, but rather it's thought through carefully to take each church's particular circumstance into account. Well, it's interesting. Like a lot of people, for a long time, I didn't know much about the AC, perhaps. Had an idea that it was out there. I knew we had the Book of Church Order. I knew there was a General Assembly. But I came to learn that all of those things have very tangible and concrete benefits for everyone in the church, even if they're not always seen. For example, I now know that even when I wasn't serving as a ruling elder, my church was governed by a session that was itself subject to rules. Just like the pastor couldn't make all the decisions for the church, the session itself was subject to the Presbyterian system. It was subject to the Book of Church Order, which has to be maintained, updated, thought about, debated at General Assembly, and dealt with, maintained, and overseen. And that, there's probably no way I could put my finger on the instances where that was of direct benefit to me, because I wouldn't necessarily know about it, because I don't know all the terrible ideas that were never adopted or brought forth in my local church because the rules wouldn't have permitted those ideas to come forth. It's fair to everyone. It asks everyone to pay a minimal amount for the connectedness that benefits them. it also prevents a situation where a church, maybe not intentionally, but maybe just through force of habit, can kind of become a free rider and benefit from that connectedness without paying even a small share of the cost of that. And so I think that's important. I also think in my mind, I've drawn a little bit of an analogy to the history of our country and our system of government. If you remember, originally when the United States declared independence from Great Britain, we had the Articles of Confederation. And the concept of the Articles of Confederation would be confederated colonies or now states, but the central government would be supported by voluntary contributions by each state. And it took the United States just over a decade to realize that didn't work very well. The states had their own budget problems, understandably, and they could never raise enough money even to pay the Continental Army, much less the other bills of the national government. And so the country figured out we needed to switch. We needed a stronger central system than we had, and we needed a system where everyone would pay their fair share of the cost of maintaining that national government. There have been some ups and downs and problems with our system, but on the whole, it's proven stronger than that previous system. It took the United States a little over a decade to realize that. It's taken the PCA a little over 3 decades, but that's okay. I think we should move carefully, slowly, and deliberately in something like this, and I think the new funding plan comes out of years of work and careful thought.